this episode, we are doing Super Bowl Sunday party. We got 2 appetizers, a dessert, and a cocktail, and it's going to blow your mind. These appetizers are so good, no one would dare fumble them. And they're going to be... Super Bowl Sunday, some of the little appetizers that you always think of are hot wings, you think of pasta, cheese, fried stuff. Well, I have an appetizer that I came up with that is everything combined, and it is a buffalo chicken macaroni and cheese filled wontons. I know, that sounds crazy. So the first thing we got to do is we got to get the mac and cheese part. So I already had a box of macaroni that I cooked. And I made sure it was a little al dente, a little bit not too overcooked, because it's going to cook a little bit more when we fry it up. So this is a 32-ounce box. If you want to use less of this, you can use less. I made a lot because it's going to be a big party. And we got some cheese here. We got 1 package of blue cheese, 2 cups of a light mild cheddar cheese. We got 1 cup of a Swiss cheese. We got some buffalo sauce. We have a cup of celery. We got 2 tablespoons of garlic. I have some that's roasted, that I roasted in the oven, and some that's just minced to add some variety. And then 3 cups of chicken. And then we've got some spices here. We have 2 tablespoons of the ranch packet seasoning. We got a tablespoon of chili powder. We got a couple tablespoons of cayenne pepper. We got some salt and pepper. And this is all really to taste. However, when you want to do this, you can make it spicier, not as spicy, you know, whatever you want to do. So we're going to start with our roux. Alright, now a roux is kind of this floury butter type sauce. And it can be a little bit tricky to kind of make. But you start off with butter, and I have a whole stick of butter. And I'm going to put in our garlic. Get that cooking. And watch your garlic. You don't want to burn it. It's really easy to do sometimes. Alright, so we start with this, and we're going to start cooking it down. And then I'm going to pop in our celery, so we can start our celery. And the other thing I'm going to throw in is our big group of spices too. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to kind of spread the flour over it. And be careful, because if you're not careful, you get clumps. So the reason we have a roux is because that actually puts everything together and combines everything, so you don't get a really liquidy sauce. So you get that really thick kind of sauce you would get with macaroni. So I'm going to put in some white wine. I would say that's about between a half a cup and a cup of white wine. So as you can see, check it out, it's getting really, really globby. And that butter and that flour is cooking. Make sure that you cook it long enough, because if you don't, it's going to taste like flour and it's going to be kind of gross. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to start adding in our milk. That was about a half a cup of milk, if we're guesstimating. And when you're doing a roux, it really is all about eyeballing and just looking at your consistency and just pouring in a little at a time. So I'm going to start adding in my cheese at this point. And we're going to add in more milk. Another half a cup of milk into our saucy base. And that was our cheddar cheese. I recommend a white cheddar or some kind of a mild cheddar. You don't want too strong of a cheddar taste, because you want that blue cheese to come through, because it's kind of the star of the show, the blue cheese. I mean, you can't have hot wings without blue cheese. You really can't. It just is not right, okay? And I picked Swiss because I think Swiss is kind of a mild flavor. Something to mix it up a little bit. Very Americana, just like the Super Bowl. that was another half a cup of milk. I'm just adding in little half cup intervals. And we also want this to be a really thick sauce because you're going to be putting it inside wontons. So if you get it too runny, it's going to run out of the wonton and then you're not going to have a fun time at all. Alright, time for the blue cheese. So I used a whole package you can get at the store, but that's about a cup and a half of blue cheese. Now you don't want to use too much blue cheese. It's a really strong flavor and I've done that before and it turned out really, really bad. And it was kind of overwhelming, overpowering. So that's why we had the other cheeses in there to kind of offset the fact that that is a strong, strong taste. So, alright, 1, 2, 3, we'll call that 3 tablespoons of the hot sauce. And like I said, this is to taste, so have your little spoon out and taste, taste, taste to see what your desired amount is. And I'm going to throw the chicken in there at this point. So like I said, 3 cups of chicken. Now I boiled my own chicken and then I shredded it, but you don't have to do that. Just go to the store and get a rotisserie chicken from the deli section and just tear off all the meat and make 3 cups of it. That's super easy. We got a nice thick cheese sauce here. Oh wow, look at that. Oh my gosh. Woo, buddy. Okay, so some of the prep work that I did to get ready to make our wontons is I have a couple of cookie sheets over here that are lined with parchment paper because I'm going to show you 2 ways of doing it. The healthier way of baking the wontons, which turns out fine, or the really terrible, bad for you, but so delicious way of frying the wontons. So I have some vegetable oil on the stove in that pot over there, getting nice and hot. So here are our wontons, and what I've gotten ready is an egg wash, which is just eggs scrambled up. And I'm going to dip it like that. And this is really good because it helps everything stick together. And I got another one. Okay, so just a tiny bit. You don't want to add too much because it's going to flop out on you. So we're going to put this on top of this. And you've got your little wonton dumpling. Okay, so I've made a couple of wontons right now. These are the ones I'm going to take and bake in the oven, which are going to be delicious. But I'm going to show you one that I'm going to put together right now that we're going to fry. Alright. Alright, you ready? Bombs away! It's a little bit crispy, a little bit brown. I've done